Hey there again, TikTakers, and welcome to a new video about murderers. Today, we ask you to be especially careful. If you are sensitive, it might be better if you stop watching this video now. Since we'll be talking about the most famous cannibal in Japan, Issei Sagawa. He was born on June 11, 1949 in Japan. He was brought up in a wealthy family of high social status, which allowed him to travel the world and study in many prestigious schools. However, despite this, Issei's family still endured many financial difficulties during World War II. Thus, when he was a child, this resulted in Issei having frequent nightmares about being trapped in a cauldron filled with boiling water. However, the family's situation got better, and they became wealthy once again. Issei then started studying English literature at Waco University and started getting interested in the world of art. Since he was young, his obsession was tall, blonde, Western women with soft skin. Issei would also spend many hours reading books about cannibal characters. He was fascinated by that world. Years later, the murderer confessed that many times whenever he was walking down a street and saw a cute woman walking by, he would wonder if he could actually eat her. He also explained that he then started being physically violent with some of his female acquaintances. After finishing his studies in Tokyo, he moved to Paris to do a specialization, and his family would cover all his expenses, of course. Issei was just 1.5 meters tall and was pretty reserved and intelligent. Nobody could have predicted what he would become later on. In Paris, he met Renee Heartveld, a 25-year-old Dutch woman. She was very intelligent and knew 3 different languages. Issei felt attracted to her because she looked just like his ideal woman. He wanted to spend time with her, but didn't know how. So he decided to hire her to teach him German. They soon became friends since they both enjoyed art, literature, and poetry. Issei, according to him, had fallen in love and told Renee how he felt. He would frequently give her gifts and invite her to different places. However, she only saw him as a friend and nothing more. Years after his horrible crimes, Issei acknowledged that he had planned to end Renee's life in more than one occasion, but wasn't able to. However, on the afternoon of June 11, 1981, it finally happened, when Renee went to Issei's house to help him with some German translations. He took advantage of the situation to once more declare his love for her. He tried to kiss her, but the young woman kept rejecting him. Thus, Issei went to the kitchen pretending to look for a wine bottle in order to de-escalate the situation. But he grabbed a rifle instead. During the trial, Issei declared that his rifle went off by accident, but later on it was discovered that he intentionally killed Renee by shooting her in the neck. After that, he decided that the best way to get rid of her corpse was to dismember her. And so, without any sliver of remorse, he cut Renee's body into pieces using an electric knife and took photos of the entire process. However, as he was doing so, Issei confessed that he felt the urge to actually try out her flesh and taste it. So he grabbed some of the chunks he had cut and put them in his fridge. He then seasoned some of the other pieces and put them in a fryer. He said the flesh melted in his mouth like sushi, which really perturbed everyone who heard him. After many days of eating the body of his former friend, Issei put what was left of Renee's body in suitcases, called a taxi, and brought them to a faraway zone. He threw them into a lake at the Bologna forest and thought that nobody would ever find Renee's remains. But he was wrong. Her remains were found, and thanks to the taxi driver, Issei was apprehended. The murderer confessed everything that happened with a really disturbing calmness, and unfortunately, he didn't spend long in prison. He said what he did was an act of love, and the psychiatrist who analyzed him justified his behavior. So his sentence was greatly reduced. The judge only gave him 2 meager years in jail. Some experts at the time speculated that the reason he was given such an absurdly short sentence was due to the influence of Issei's wealthy family. 3 years later, he was deported to Japan, where a mental health clinic certified that he had no psychiatric problems and was let free. From then on, he became famous, appearing in TV shows and advertisements, as well as writing books. Nowadays, Issei lives in Tokyo under a fake name and is involved in different business activities. This is a clear example of the justice system sometimes failing and letting free people who represent a true danger to society. Were you familiar with this story, TikTakers? It's pretty disturbing and frustrating, isn't it? It's like a horrible nightmare. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!